did those people get in? I've read about you people in the newspapers and heard about you're fans of this program. They're dangerous. I've read about them. Hello, America, and welcome to Friday. What you're about to see this hour may be news to you because it hasn't been reported, really. Tonight, you're going to see how this tragedy in Japan will reach your home all around the world and be a potential of the catalyst of the fiscal tsunami that changes the world. So far, the tragedy hasn't changed the people in Japan, and that is the only thing that matters. Their incredible unity is inspiring, at least it is to me. I don't see an awful lot of coverage on it. They're like the people that we were on September 12th. I don't mean this boastfully, and I don't mean this as a slam. They remind me of America. They remind me of who we're supposed to be. When we're at our best, nobody beats us. We're not Republicans or Democrats. We're not even really Americans. We're just brothers and sisters and people. In America, it used to be called American exceptionalism. It's not as natural to us anymore. In fact, our president and many people in this country, left and right, don't believe it even exists. But you're seeing it in Japan. Japan, it is still natural to the Japanese, like it used to be to us. I wonder if it still is. Have we been turned against one another? They haven't been. I remember saying on September 11th, I remember saying to my radio audience, it was about I remember exactly, I think it was 5:37. And I remember looking at the screen, and I remember looking at the clock, and then talking into my microphone and saying to many of you, have no fear. We will not be defeated by an outside source. America can only be defeated by itself. I wish I would have had just a smidgen of fear of us at that time, but I didn't. Now I see the forces within. In Japan, they have something called gambate. Gambate. It means perseverance. It means do your best, no matter what it is. No matter what comes your way, you can overcome, and take pride in overcoming the impossible. Whether that is recovering from a devastating military defeat or an unimaginable disaster, it doesn't matter. What you're seeing in Japan today is that spirit, gambate. It comes natural to the Japanese. They have a rich, rich history of overcoming, and they haven't turned against each other yet, and I hope they never do. Tonight I want to talk to you about the Japanese, what we can do, and also what we need to learn from them. We are turning against ourselves, and we have allowed America to become something that it was never intended to be. Our founding fathers did not see this kind of America. America that is dependent on a government and looks to the government to heal everything. America has drawn people here for hundreds of years because it was exceptional, it was unique, it was different. And you bought into that. You wanted to come here, but now, not everybody buys into that idea. In fact, that socialist rally that I showed you in Chicago, they were actually talking in that socialist rally. I love this. They were saying, America is America no matter where you are, and borders doesn't matter, and it's just as much their country as your country. I'm sorry. What? It can't be unique and just the same at the same time. There are people here that want to fundamentally transform America. Well, I am one of them. I want to fundamentally transform America, restore America, not to the Reagan years, but to the ideas set forth by our founding fathers and our founding principles. We didn't realize that many people were trying to fundamentally transform, and they were being quiet at the same time. These people, I think you can make a case that they are winning that war. Let me ask the audience, how many of you believe things today that you would have said were crazy 3 years ago? Okay, almost everybody. All right. I said 2 years ago, you will get up one morning and you'll read the newspaper and you'll see your country and you won't recognize it as the same country anymore. And I remember being called crazy at that point. Would you say you have done that yet? You don't recognize your country? Raise your hand if you feel that way. Okay. If you don't feel that way, let me ask you this. If I would have told you a year ago that France would lead, that France would be the one that says, you know what, I'm tired of waiting around, we'll send our planes and we'll bomb. And America would say, would you have believed that a year ago? When I said that the Fed would buy our debt and monetize our debt, I remember the calls of being irresponsible, I was crazy, I was dangerous. The Fed buys our debt, about 80% of it now. Do you recognize your country? They testified and said they would never do that in front of Congress. Is anyone charging them with anything? America is involved in a third front. If I would have told you 4 weeks ago that America may now be involved in a war, in a third war, in a third Muslim country in the Middle East, would you have believed me? I believe I did say words similar to that right over there, that it would sweep, destabilize, and drag us all down. We're in a third war, a third front. God help us all if it boils over in Libya. And would you believe me if I would have ever said America would turn against Israel? Did you see the case we made last night? Who here would have believed 2 years ago that we would turn against Israel? Never. Never. So this is the question. Who are we? And what can we control? Is there anybody here that knows that, I mean, what can we control? Anybody? What can we control? Steve?
Only your responses to what comes your way.
You can, yes, only your response to what comes your way, but you can control something else too. Yes?
Our own family and how we live our lives and control our children and tell them good things to do.
That's it. We can't control our children, believe me. Can't control our children. I mean, how many of us have been standing in a supermarket where our kids are like spread eagle on the floor going, I want Cheetos! And we're like, not my kid, that kid's out of control. You can't control your kids, but you can control the choices that you make in life and our reactions. And that's just the choice. That's the only thing we can control is our choices. That's what I really want to focus on tonight, are the choices that we're going to make. Everybody on the left in the media says I'm nuts, and I hope to God I am, because if what I believe comes, we're in deep trouble. And not that the world is going to end, but we are going to have to. Do you think that when people said that you're building these nuclear power plants for an earthquake, nobody thought that there would be a 10 on the Richter scale? Have you ever seen anything like that tsunami? That tsunami, come over here with me. Can you come back over here? Look at this picture over here. Look at this picture. I've never seen anything like this picture. These are just cars, just all piled up on top of each other. If I would have said to you 3 weeks ago, and I see houses on fire in the middle of the water being washed away and still on fire, everyone would have said, you're out of your mind nuts. We're seeing crazy things. Now, I said at the beginning of the week, because I happened to go, I went to this Baptist revival church this last Sunday, and it was great. It was you ever remember going to church and seeing the lady with the hats? and they would wear the gloves. They'd all have the hats, the old lady in their purses, and it was just great. And it was pretty amazing. And the preacher got up, and he was talking about, this is actually, we were on vacation for a week, and we were in the Bahamas. And so this preacher got up, and there were only about 100 people there. And he was talking, giving this prayer. He was just the best. And he was saying, Lord, we see the signs, and we know what's coming. So when I got on the radio on Monday, I talked about the signs. And I made it very clear that God does not punish people through earthquakes. At least I don't believe that now. I believe God allows us to punish ourselves, and who doesn't think we're going to be punished for our financial ways, for living in lies? God's not going to stop that from happening. He's warned us the whole time, hey, tell the truth, tell the truth. It's going to come crashing down on us. That's not a punishment from God. That is a consequence of our errors. When it comes to this earthquake, I certainly don't think the Lord is punishing the people of Japan. I do, however, think there's a possibility. Can anybody tell me what signs of the times are? What are signs of the times? Anybody know? What? Yes? Casey, or yes, you?
Wars, rumors of wars,
right.
Earthquakes.
Famine.
Right. And where does it come from?
Bible.
The Bible, yeah, okay. It comes from the book of Revelation. Book of Revelation, there's another network who did a big, long dissertation last night based on me saying that I'm a madman because no intelligent person believes the book of Revelation is true. Well, I'm intelligent. I may not be the smartest guy, but I'm intelligent, and I believe it to be true. And what is it? It's not about an angry, vengeful God. It is about a warning. When you see these things, know that I am near. Now, I don't know what his time frame is. I mean, Jesus could be people have been saying it's the end of times for 2,000 years. The apostles actually thought, hey, okay, we're going to see him soon. So I have no idea. I haven't checked God's calendar. But I do know he sent these things, and he said, you will see wars and rumors of wars, famine, natural disasters, and this sticks out at me. He also talks about men will, in those days, will go and bury their gold and their treasures in a hill. An hour later, come back and they will be worthless. Check your 401k. Check your 401k. When I say to you, if you want to really bury your money and your goods and keep them safe, is there anything that could, that at all possibly hold on to that money? Is there anything that couldn't change in 1 hour? Nothing. Nothing. Signs of the times. What are those? Those are things to say, hey, you better make a decision. And what is the decision? Change yourself. Get ready. Do you stand with greed, anger, violence, and racism, or do you stand up for life, liberty, and equal justice for all? Do you actually help each other? Do we be more like the Japanese and come through anything that we might face with grace? I want to show you some videos here in just a minute. In fact, can you just show the video here before we go out? Can you show the video of the, you know what, I tell you what, instead of showing you the video, I'm going to break. I want to come back with a letter, a blog that I read today that is amazing. And then we're going to learn a little something about the Japanese culture that maybe can help us change ourselves. And here's the first step. We have done a really bad job of helping the Japanese. We helped Haiti. We are the most charitable group on earth. Call 1-800-RED CROSS now, 1-800-RED CROSS, or text Red Cross 90999 and make a $10 donation to support the effort.